Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another day in the life as a work from home, stay-at-home mom who's also an author. Today is a lot more of an author day than any of the other things because we have an event. Is it a book event? No. No, it's not. It's just a shop local event that I'm gonna turn into a book event because when I came home from my trip in Michigan, I had the bug. I've shared this here before. I just fell in love with the whole concept of an event and I need practice. I need to just keep doing it, keep showing up until it starts to feel more natural for me because right now I have no idea what I'm doing and I feel super awkward and a little bit nervous and scared, but we're doing it anyway. If you can hear the squeak toy in the background, I'm so sorry. We have a puppy and there's just no stopping him. There's no stopping him. Between the dog and the toddler, there's always going to be background noise. I apologize. So right now, let's hurry up and get all of the stuff together that I need to take for this event. Is this a fancy event? It is not. We need duct tape for our tent. That's a humble beginning for you. I'm okay with it. Again, it's about showing up, practicing, doing the thing. So let's get ready. The last time and the first time I used my sign was at the book ball and I had to check the bag for this on the way there because it doesn't fit in the perimeters to be like a carry-on bag, and it was broken when I got to the book ball. It was still functional, but it was broken. I've since checked it again and I've been too afraid to see the state of it, which is really unfortunate because I have to check it again in October. But I want to make sure I don't need to like tape anything in order to use it today. I mean, it's a little beat up, but I think we're good. I mean, it's a little worse for wear, but honestly, that's the nature of the game. It's a little frustrating that it's like straight out the gates a little worse for wear, but it's my hope that I will literally wear out the sign and have to get a new one. So I'm doing what we gotta do. Okay, sign. Like everything else is at my mom's house, so we'll have to do another round of this once we get there. It's also probably not ideal that my back is already hurting, but kind of is what it is. Okay, next step is to get dressed, eat some food, and then it might be cute that I think I'm gonna film at this event because I just tried to load the stuff up in the car and I couldn't keep the lens from fogging up because it is that steamy outside, which also makes me really hope that we end up on the inside of this event, but at least it's not boiling hot, but it is super humid. Let's go through the list because I have things that need to get packed from here and then there are things that need to get packed from my mom's house. So let's go through this. So I have the sign and I had to test before, did that. I have the tablecloth, I have the table signs, I have the bookmarks, I have the stickers, I have a little list going on my phone.
I have the inventory. That's all I have from here. Everything else, the tent, the duct tape, the step stool, and the chairs and the table are at my mom's house. So I guess we can kind of get moving and grooving here in a second, which is exciting and also, I was gonna say it's terrifying, but it's really not, because you know what? It's just an experience, right? We just get to experience things, and that's always really fun. So I should have probably cleaned out the trunk of my car a little bit better before doing this, but that's okay. All right, let's get moving. So I didn't get a ton of footage at the event. It poured the whole time. The whole time. So that's a bit of a bummer because there was obviously like way less people in attendance on a rainy afternoon. Not many people are like, you know what I'm gonna do on a rainy afternoon is go hang out outside at a brewery, which understandably, like, even look at my hair. Like, my hair was straight this morning. It is less straight. And as like the day was going on, I kept tying it up because I became like Monica in Barbados. But I figure while I talk to you and kind of catch you up on the event, I might attempt, a very poor attempt, but attempt to do the unicorn curls again. Mainly just, it was hair wash day. And generally I try to get a few days out of a hair wash day, but I'm also not usually hanging out in the most humid of conditions for 4 hours. The event, despite the like lack of turnout, was so fun. It was such a cute place that we went to. I grew up in Raleigh, but haven't lived in like the Raleigh area in a while. I live like outside of Raleigh now. And it was called the Tap Yard in Raleigh. It was such a neat place. Really loved it. Like, it was a little far from where I currently live, but definitely would go and spend like an afternoon there. It looked like it would be good even like had it not been raining. I would have encouraged my husband to come with the toddler because it really was like, there were games, honestly, it was a lot of gravel, which right now my toddler is super into because he likes his excavator and his dump trucks and all those things. So if you take him to a gravel parking lot, literally could be a gravel parking lot, he'll entertain himself for a while. Got to meet some of the other vendors. I did sell some books, obviously not a ton because there was very few people in attendance, but you know what? Every single book sale, especially book sales, I was gonna say especially book sales to people that I don't know, but honestly, actually that's not true because it's sometimes even more of a boat of like, oh, when I sell it to somebody I do know because, I don't know, like we all have those friends that like do things and you're like, I'm not real sure about that. I'm really bad at these, so please don't judge the situation and please certainly don't look at this as like a tutorial because I have no freaking idea what I'm doing. I've only done it once, and should I have brushed my hair first? Did I brush my hair already? Did I already brush my hair? Y'all, it's been that kind of day. I don't know. But I did sell a book to a complete stranger, which is always very exciting. I will say, she came over, she was talking to me and asking me about the book. You know, we were chatting a little bit. She's like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I go, oh, really? Are you sure? So, to say I probably need to work on my retail strat. What am I doing? To say I need to work on my retail strategy is probably an epic understatement. There we go. I did not have my hands correct in that first little loop-de-loop. But yeah, I had a good time. I will not bore you with like the thoughts I have about vendor events as an indie author, aside from the fact I would do it again. I might just be a little more strategic moving forward. That being said, while I was at my mom's house picking up my sister, I got an email inviting me to a book camp in September in Ohio. And I don't think, again, I've ever said yes to something so quickly. And I'm the kind of person that, like, I don't know the logistics of things very rarely in the moment. I just trust that it will eventually work out and we'll figure out what to do. I'm also a firm believer that, like, things tend to come into fruition a little more seamlessly if you kind of guide it. And so by saying yes to things and then assuming it'll all work out later, like, I don't know. It's a strategy I use. Is it a good one? I don't know. But it's worked out so far. That all being said, I got this email, and right now my approach to things is, especially if it's something that kind of scares me or is a little outside of my comfort zone, say yes. Like, say yes. And so this comes through. My mom, my sister are standing right there, and I'm like, I'm gonna say yes. And I'm like, yeah, you should say yes. Meanwhile, I'm like, I have a toddler, and this is the last week in September, and then I'm gonna be gone. I do not live in Ohio, so I would have to travel there. And then I'd be gone 2 weeks later in Texas for a book event. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out what to do with my toddler. It's football season, so the husband will be pretty MIA. I'm like, whatever. I emailed right away, said yes, and figured we would figure it out. And my mom was like, well, I could come and stay at your house. My mom is older, for those of you, like, why wouldn't your mom just help? My mom is older and has some health concerns. So that, just for reference, not that you needed that information. My mom does help how my mom can help. It's just not, I don't rely on her for help. It's not relevant information, but just in case anybody was wondering. And so, like, we kind of had that a little bit worked out or whatever. Got home from the event and I was telling my husband about it. Because, like, in the middle of the day, I'm like, I need the football schedule for this fall. Mainly because my mom just wanted to make sure that Jonathan wouldn't be, like, out of the state. Just in case there was some kind of, like, emergency situation. If I was going to be out of the state, she would prefer that maybe he be in the state. And so I got home and I was telling him about it. And I'm sharing the email with him. He's looking at it. He's like, honey, this is for 2025. I'm like, oh, well, then I definitely have time to figure that out. So I'm very excited about that. I think it'll be fun. Hold on. This is where it gets tricky, and this is kind of where I messed things up last time, because really, truthfully, I don't want my ends all up in there. But anyway, vendor event. Honestly, 3 books ain't shabby for, you know, a rainy Sunday. So I am not upset about it. It was also really, I cannot take myself seriously looking like this. But it was really good practice too, just because this was my first time doing like this kind of event. So like bringing my own table and supplies, getting this set up. I thought it looked really cute. So yeah, I enjoyed myself. I had fun. I would do it again. I am extremely wiped. I have not done really any of like my reset chores that I would normally do on a Sunday, obviously, because I was working. Which again, I was saying this to my husband when I got home. It's the same kind of feeling I had with the Michigan trip to the book ball. This doesn't feel like work at all. Like, at all. It's the same way I feel when I'm writing a book. That doesn't feel like work at all. Now, granted, and if you are a writer watching this and you're like, that doesn't feel like work, I find it to be hard work. It is hard work, but it doesn't feel like hard work. It feels very like in the flow, right? Like it feels like you're doing the thing you're supposed to be doing. We've all been in situations where it's been hard work and it's really not even a hard job. It's just hard work because you're miserable doing it. That is not what any of this feels like. But that all being said, like I need to get in my bed. I think it's 9:20. Oh my God, I'm usually dead asleep by now. I also honestly got delayed a little bit because my kid had a hard time getting down, which was partially my fault because I walked in after he was already in his room reading stories with his dad, and I should have probably just let them be in the room alone and let him go to bed, and I'll see him tomorrow. But I went in, and I maybe shouldn't have done that, but I did. I wanted to, so that was kind of my fault. I had a lot of fun today. I'm so glad I get to do stuff like this. How freaking cool is that? Editing Joey here, and I'm just realizing that I didn't actually properly end the vlog. I don't know what planet I must have been on this morning when I was taking out those little like unicorn curls. First of all, that face. Can we please talk about that face? I have no recollection of it. Zero zilch. I mean, I guess that's what happens when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna turn the camera on just as I'm waking up from bed. I wanted to take my curls out like the very first thing because they tend to be really tight and I wanted them to fall. I, for real, thought that I ended this vlog last night. So I'm here to end this vlog now. The main takeaway for this vlog is that it's okay if you don't know what you're doing. It's okay if you don't really know how to start. Just start somewhere. If you start somewhere, then you have data to be able to like collect and analyze and determine your next move from there. With these whole event situations, like I've just kind of embodied this thought of like not really caring, not in an apathetic way, just more in like I'm here for the experience. Like, I'm here for the experience, I'm here for the lesson, I want the practice, I enjoy doing it, so we're just gonna like roll with that and see where it goes. And honestly, that's exactly how I approached writing the first book. Definitely just, if you are hung up on something and feeling stuck and feeling like you want to start but you don't know how to start or where to start, just pick a place, throw the dart, see where it lands. It's not where it's supposed to go, try again. I say this analogy all the time. We are Roombas in the game of life. Pick a direction, go for it. If you hit a wall, all right, back up, readjust, go for it. You hit a wall, you back up, readjust, go for it. Eventually the room gets clean. Eventually the job gets done. So just be brave enough to try. Just be brave enough to start. And I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye.